You're listening to Goons, Games, and Gear, the sexiest gaming podcast in the world.
2 years in the making, and we finally beat Elden.
Yeah. Actually, that is a good way to start it. Pretty much, yeah. We have both, played Elden Ring since launch. But I don't think we ever... No, I know I didn't.
Yeah, no, I got to the crumbling Azura on the Series X.
Right.
Yeah, so which is pretty close to the end. And then I stopped playing because I forget why, whatever came out, but I was addicted. So then took a long break, and then I got my gaming PC, and I'm like, okay, I want to play it on PC. I actually got Brandon. I coerced him, like, hey, get this as a birthday present for me, and so he bought it for me.
Right.
And then I was gonna start it, but we're like, wait, is there a way we can play this co-op? And our original plan, because we did this all, so we beat it together first time, right? Yeah. It was for Seamless Coop was just like to summon each other because we can both play on PC. Because I don't have a PS5. He bought it for the Series X to play.
I bought Elden Ring on every system.
Yeah.
And have beat it on the last one. We bought it for.
And then we figured out the Seamless Co-op mod, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was and just for anyone who doesn't understand, Seamless Co-op is basically, it's kind of like a private server version where the entire, he's not like a phantom, he's an actual player. We share one world, and we just went through the whole thing. But you can't get invaded by real people, and you can't play multiplayer with anyone else but anyone who has the password.
Right. But you can get Steam achievements, which
was awesome. It was really cool.
So we were like, we're still playing it. We're working on 100%ing and stuff. And then eventually the DLC will come out, and they'll update the mod so we can play the DLC together as well. So
can't consume enough.
Now that we finally finished it, we can finally review it.
And I can say it sucks.
It was garbage. From Software has lost all credibility. This is like Dark Souls 2, but worse.
It goes Elden Ring, Dark Souls 2, 1, 3. Yeah. No, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I felt something.
I have no complaints really. The only complaint I have is sometimes the guide thing that they did would not actually point the right direction. You mean the giant book? No, on the map, you know how it has the trail from some of the bonfires.
Oh,
right. There was the one time where it was go to the grand lift, but then we actually had to go underground. It wasn't very clear. But that was the one specific time where I was I don't understand this game.
It was a general direction. It's hey, kind of go that way.
Right.
Try your best to go that way. It's okay, and then we did, and then there was one time where dude, this is not helping at all.
Right.
But it was such a fun experience.
Yeah. I also think playing it co-op just made it better.
Sure.
Too.
Right.
It almost set an unrealistic bar of I want From Software to make this a reality for other games that they make. But...
Yeah, it needs to be fine-tuned because there's definitely exploits. There were some bosses that we could basically bully because
you could set at a bonfire and reset the enemies around.
Oh well, that stuff. Too. I just meant against actual bosses where you could we could stun lock them basically. But I guess that could have applied to if we played it normally.
Well, yeah, even if you just had summoned me and then we both used the mimic and did it that way.
Right.
The boss fights, I feel regardless would have been the same. Because then even if I had died, that would have been it. And then that's how it worked with the co-op mod as well. So
yeah, but from beginning to end, the mod mostly worked too. There's only been there's a few crashes I could think of. There's some glitches,
right? For a community made thing or whatever.
It worked really well.
It was perfect. I can't think of it crashed and stuff, and some things were a little janky. But otherwise, there was nothing wrong with it.
The only bug that persists was that for some reason you couldn't summon your donkey.
Yeah, the donkey summoning would break sometimes. Oh, and then, but I think that was more of a controller issue that your attack button wouldn't work right or something.
Yeah, that it was an Elden just base game. It's not because of the mod, but basically if I clicked out of the game, I alt tabbed, and I clicked on something, the game would kind of half recognize that I was using a mouse. So when I went back to the controller, it still believed that my attack button was binded to my left click. So when I had RB&R game, why can't I use this? Until I learned, I just have to. But then if I clicked left click on using a mouse controller, it would then reset it to work on. It's a really weird bug
Right.
that I probably don't really need to look into, but it's
Right.
just really interesting.
The mod was also just like super easy to install and like implement.
To be fair though, I screwed it up because there were times where like it wouldn't open. I was like, why is this not working for me? And it was because you have to have Steam up. They don't really make that clear.
Yeah, he needed to like do the README a little more like laid out, but otherwise, like once you had it installed and like actually like figured out how to run it, like that was it. It was perfect.
It's perfect.
Like I had it as a desktop icon, and just like click that and it would boot up. And then like once you were in the game, there's just an item you use to join each other's worlds.
For what it's worth, I'm not even sure this is like a comment I should just wait for the end for, but like now that I know this is possible, I probably will never buy a Souls game on console again.
Yeah.
It's such a good. Well, first of all, like you said before, now that I know it can work, we should really have an official version.
Yeah.
I would say I'd like it a little more difficult. I think if we could,
and I think the guy amped up the difficulty, right?
Yeah.
Like he went in and like had amped up like the damage multiplier given and taken by bosses as well. So like he upped the difficulty himself because he was like, okay, it's gonna be too easy if there's two people. So
he added built-in ways to add more like damage from the enemies and whatnot.
Right.
We decided not to use it because it was our first time playing through like from beginning to end.
Right, just playing Elden Ring. So,
but if we want to do like a challenge run series, which isn't a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's just like if we could like
with mods and stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
He said when I read it, he said that originally it was like up to like 6 people, but you could theoretically get up to 30.
Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Summon an army.
I love the Radon, or is it Radon? The guy on the donkey that in the sand.
Oh yeah.
I would love that. Like,
instead of summoning people, it's just like everybody spawns in.
Just like make it like a dynasty war. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it'd be so great if there was an official way to do this. I understand why there's not. But now that we know there could be,
like it's a cool option. Like,
it's a really.
You're still gonna have your diehard Souls fans that like just play it by themselves,
right?
And like there's multiple endings, so like multiple playthroughs can be done regardless. But or like new game pluses or whatever. But like it's just I don't know. Yeah, it's like now that I know it can be done, and it was done by like just some random people, not even just from software. Like I know they could do it and make it like perfect. So it was just an awesome experience.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it still is too. We're still playing it. When the DLC comes out, the guy said he's going to update the mod. He just doesn't know how long it's going to take. So it should be good.
It was a really unique way to actually experience the game from beginning to end. And because we waited so long, like we played on consoles, right? But then we didn't play for such a long time. It was basically like restarting, like with a fresh map. Like there were bits of people who were like, "Oh, I remember this," but a lot of people were like, "Where the hell I go?"
Yeah. That was like at the beginning. There's the dragon in Lernia of the Lake. I don't remember that at all. I don't remember there being a dragon there. Like I know I got past that area, but like I just don't recall that dragon at all. But
it was just so much fun from beginning to end. There really wasn't any parts I was just like, God, this sucks.
Right. It didn't drag at all. Like.
And the most fun part I think for me was when we fought the Lord Flaccid, the
big dragon thing. That was awesome.
He's like they say he's the second hardest boss in the game,
next to Melina, right?
Yeah, but like, and we fought Melina together. It took less tries. When we finally encountered her, it was like 1 a.m, and we're like, we're gonna try a few times. We were like so sleep exhausted. We're like, okay, we got like.
And then next time we came back and just like destroyed her.
It's like, what if we were a little patient? I'm like, oh yeah,
that works.
That works. Oh my god! But that dragon, holy crap! His AOE's,
everything, the laser hyper beams he does, like everything was just nuts with that dragon. It took us so long to do that.
I learned later that you have to beat him in order to get it's like called the golden alloyed needle, but basically it makes it so you can remove the 3-finger curse.
Oh really?
Yeah. Huh. Like you have to do that.
That's
in order.
Cool.
Yeah. So like all right, you can stop this ending, but you got to pay the price.
Yeah.
Like I actually don't want to fight him again.
Yeah. No. He was not fun. So.
But it was a really cool. Like it was fun. It was
fun
challenge.
Right. A fun challenge, but just like not fun.
Oh my God. It would not have been fun if it was like by myself. I see this King Ghidorah ripoff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, like the smaller bosses you could still unlock, but the bigger ones were just like because they have AOE's. It didn't. What's the word? It's not that I didn't make it harder, but it made it fair.
Right.
Like we could both die from the same swing.
Yeah.
It was just, man. Ooh, it was just so much fun. Like, and we did everything. Like, we did we did post game. I also learned you only have to beat 2 shard bearers. So
to finish the game.
Yeah. So and we went through everyone, which I thought you had to. And I was so shocked that we didn't have to fight. Was it Mechala?
Oh, Mechalai?
Is that the prosthesis lady?
Oh, that's Melina.
Melina. Okay, yeah. Melina. I honestly thought she was part of the base game. Or like
she's like the statue for the collector's edition and everything. And we beat the game and we're like, wait a minute, where's Melina? And it was like, oh no, it's this whole side area.
Yeah, it's you have to get 2-person medallion, which they like give 0 hints about. Like, okay.
Right. They're like secret medallions too. That like one was in like a box with a random guy in the one underground area. And you're like, okay, when would I have ever come down here to find this? But then like there was the sewer area too that we did at the end for like an hour something straight, and it's for the one ending. Right. But like then we were like, this is all bonus. Why do we have to be here?
and then we only learned later that we missed like the secret area.
The boss. There's a boss, and then you fight him, and you're like, okay, I'm done, I'm leaving. They put like a teleporter back to the entrance. And then if you hit the wall, it's a secret wall. That's a whole another thing. Like,
dude, there was so much more area than I thought for that game. It was like that whole snow area, that like the extra snow area that led to the Halig tree. Like it was just like, what is all this?
Yeah. I mean, the whole area where we got the mimic summon too, and like that whole area was like beautiful and awesome, but like all optional. You like never would go down there otherwise. So, I mean, there's so much to that game, but I feel like people who just played the story for that game missed out on everything.
Yeah, I mean,
even doing like all the random dragon fights that we did, like those were just awesome. Fighting the dragons was sweet.
Yeah, it's just fun. Those are fun.
Yeah.
It was like what was like the most difficult area, do you think, for you? Or I guess really for us, but I mean I feel like my frustration is really in the stupid sewer.
It was yeah, but I think it was just because it ended up being a waste of time. But that area also was just like there was one hallway, and you would like go down a door, and then you'd end up back in that hallway. But that occurred like 20 times. It felt like that there was a shortcut back to this hallway, and we were like, where do we go? Like, what is going on?
We also thought it was mandatory because we burned down the city, and we're like, oh, there's a hole here. Let's go down.
You spawn in the ashes of the city, and then you walk, and it's like big hole, go down hole, right?
Like, okay.
And it's like, no, go around hole.
Like, no.
Yeah. So I mean, it was very confusing.
The only other part, like, I actually just didn't have fun was that stupid snow city that was all optional that we didn't to get to. Where the stupid, there's the like we go into like the alternate dimension, whatever, and that stupid invisible blade knight who just backstabs you a billion times. And if he's not backstabbing you a billion times while invisible, those sniper elites on the rooftops. He has like the 5 like bells. I'm like that. I was like, this sucks. This is not. Yeah. This part was
was just like anti-bullet hell fun. Like
it really was like, oh, sniper.
Yeah.
And then invisible. I'm like, no, come on, man. God, yeah, that area sucked. And again, all optional.
Right.
You get secret medallions into the teleporter, into the snow area, and then, like, by the way, you just happen to have the stumble upon the teleporter that leads to the other optional area for the Bloodlord, who's it's like,
oh, that's right.
It's like, oh my God, I'm like. Not only did I not know that snow area existed, I'm like, what is this whole new area? Like, what? It's like, oh my God.
Good thing, like, From Software games came out like after the internet was established and guides could like be easily readily available, because I really like looking back like 15 years, I don't know how I would ever have been able to beat this game, or at least like accomplish as much as we did with how like the information we had.
Right.
Like I don't know. It's very hard to just kind of like be like, oh yeah, I heard about this sword. Like, how do I get there? Like, I don't know. Teleporter X, Y, and Z.
I mean, like, I think it'd have been much more, what's the word? Like, of an accomplishment if we didn't have the internet and we just like heard like a playground rumor, like, oh, by the way, there's a secret behind the the sewer boss. Like, no, there's not.
Right.
No,
right.
there's not.
Like, what do you mean? No, I was
oh
there.
my God. Like, I mean, but yeah, it's like, would we have ever found the 2 halves of the medallion, go to the snow area, then find, go to the tree area, and,
Right.
it's like, oh my God. Oh man. But it was just, it was an experience. Like, that game to me probably is what people felt for Breath of the Wild. Like, that, to me, it felt like a genuine adventure.
Right.
It's
right.
like, I felt like I was on this journey. I'm fighting these difficult bosses. It's like, it was just magical. You know? It was just so much fun.
It was such a unique From Software game too, right? Like, a lot of people look at FromSoft games and they're like, oh, they're all like Souls-like, right? Everything's Dark Souls. But like this one, like when you start like Dark Souls, right? You're on the path, and you're kind of on the path for a little while until you get to like the
Castlegate?
Yeah, pretty much Castlegate, right? This game though, like it was like you came out of the castle, you died to a boss, and then you revived and you came out and talked to the guy, and he's like, okay, go ahead. And then it's literally like you get on the horse and you can either like, there's a path this way that takes you to the first boss, really, like to the big gate with all the enemies there. Or if you go this way, there's a lake with the dragon in it. Or if you go south, there's a whole castle thing down there. It was such a open world Souls game that like looking at like Sekiro or like the Dark Souls series or Demon Souls, it was like so different and unique compared to the other ones that like it was just like a whole new experience that like, and it won Game of the Year, right? That year when it came out?
I want to say so. I could be wrong, but it deserved it.
I'm pretty sure it did. I think it was that versus something else. But yeah, I mean, like it was like perfect. And it was like I remember when it came out, it was a Souls game that like everybody was playing, even people who like hated Dark Souls or like, just like hated that genre of difficult game. But like everybody was playing it and enjoying it. It was almost like Baldur's Gate, like how everybody's playing it and talking about it. It was like, oh, did you fight this boss? Oh, did you fight this boss? It felt like those like playground rumors again, where it was like, oh, if you turn the C stick, you could play as Toad and Smash Melee. Like, it was just like, and I can see the hype now. And, like I'm sad I didn't play it fully when it first came out, but I'm really glad I waited to play it like this.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I'm happy actually, because it was much more fun when we got like, or like one of my favorite moments was you died to the fire giant, and for like half of the battle, I'm on like 1 HP.
Yeah, just like swinging. Like, and he's just like raining hellfire down. Like, yeah, it was awesome.
It was crazy, dude. It was, oh man. And back to you said about it being open world, literally every area can be reached to by level 1 up until the snow area.
Right.
They actually made it's so incredible. Like, because when you first play, realistically, the path you take is like you go to the castle, you fight Godric, whatever, and you go to the lake. But you can skip the castle, you can go around it if you try hard enough, or you can just go to the right, which is Death Valley, like one of the hardest areas. Right. Or you can go, which also teleports to another area up top, or you can go south. It's like they added so many stupid ways. Well, I'm not even stupid in a good way. Stupid ways to like get around the map, and like. A lot of open world games will, I'm not sure about a lot, but like open world games will try and limit you from progressing by like, oh, you need to have like a grappling hook to get to this point.
Right.
But the second you get torrent, which you do have to go like the straight path to get to them.
Right.
You can literally get to any spot of the game.
Right.
Except
once the horse is yours, it's like, go ahead, do whatever you want to do.
Like, and I was genuinely sad to hear that it's only getting this one DLC. But
yeah. I assume it's massive though, right? Because it's $40.
It's $40. They said it took the same amount of development time to make as Dark Souls 3, which is very interesting.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Exactly. And also, I was like just looking at George R. R. Martin stuff because he was involved with writing the game. He said his part of the writing of the game was actually for the history of the game. So he said he would approach. He's like, okay, we have everything written for what's going on in the game, but we want you to write what happened before, like 5,000 years in the past.
Huh.
So like what led up to the current events.
Right.
Which I thought was like kind of interesting. Most because I didn't see a single floppy wiener. But
yeah, I mean, where's the wieners, George? Come
on. So like, but it makes me believe that they had to have started working on Elden Ring too, right? Like they can it really be a one and done? That like I'm afraid it's a massive. So just for clarification, like one of the only other games, there's two games I can think, three games I can think of that are 10 out of 10. Binding of Isaac Repentance, God of War 3, and Smash Ultimate. Personally, I think it was like in within their own genre are 10 out of 10s for me.
Right.
When it comes to Souls games, or I'm sorry, or actually Soul games, but like just like open world games, this is probably, or actually just is the first 10 out of 10 for me. And it's like there's really nothing wrong with this game. Everything's on you, and it's also considered like the easiest Soul game because it's not on a linear path. You can grind anything you want. Because in past Souls games, what they did was every area you could if you killed every enemy like 7 times on the same path, they would stop spawning.
Right.
But in this is open world, everything just always respawns. Not bosses, obviously, but so you could technically just grind your way up to be the best. Like to overpower everything. Right.
And there's like hundreds of just like random side bosses and dungeons to do that. Like you could just keep grinding and be like level 100 by the time you go fight the first like main boss.
Right.
So.
And it's just
I mean, like, it's probably like it is the perfect game that I feel like they've released. And like that's not to say like FromSoft makes bad games at all. Like every game other than like Dark Souls 2 is a 9. Like they're pretty much perfect.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like everything, all the other ones kind of have a fault of their own, but like this one just like I don't know.
Yeah.
And like I feel like playing it when we did too also just like hyped up the DLC a ton. Like Dark Souls 3, I played Dark Souls 3 when it came out. I never played the DLCs because it was just like later on, so I never went back to play it. Okay. So, but like now, really like good. We played Elden Ring and the DLC comes out literally like 3 weeks as of this recording, and I'm like, oh my god, like I need it now. Like I want to go play it now. Right. Like it's like it built that hype too. So it was awesome. Yeah, I mean like. There's just so much you can do. Like I said, there's like hundreds of bosses and random dungeons you can do that like you could spend like, I forgot to check our like playtime, but like when we finished the game. Right. But we had to have been like 60 hours in or something like that. It was like a good chunk of time.
Oh no, yeah, it was good. I think we ended around 80.
Yeah. It was like a good chunk of time. And like,
I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. It was like I almost want to say like our most exciting playthrough we've probably done.
Together. Oh, I think so. Yeah, no,
like just like everything was awesome. Maybe if I don't know if the whole series will be like edited, but it'll be coming out at least by the time this comes out. Wait for the ending. The pop off we did when we finally beat the last boss was just like so genuine and just like the most exciting game achievement I've done in a long time. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
So
that's just why. I'm sorry.
No. It was just awesome. It was just like so amazing.
So yeah, like I want 100% the game. Like with you as well. I'm 2 achievements away.
I gotta
the other 2 endings.
Stuff. Yeah.
At least for me, like it's just 2 endings.
Right.
But, and I was like kind of conflicted. I'm like, do I want to like save scum to get the last ending? I'm like, nah, I'll just play.
Right.
It's just fun. But we didn't touch upon it because we couldn't play on our playthrough. We couldn't play online.
Right.
But when I played it solo, I challenged myself by every grace I found that I could. I always made sure that someone invade me and do like my invader battle.
Right.
Dude, the rush I get from either outsmarting somebody or just outplaying them. Dude, it was like almost the same feeling as when you like win a really close match of Smash back in the day. I'm like, yeah, like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Or like because I have a pyromancy build, and one of my favorite things is when because the big fireball, it's so heavy that like it throws low to the ground. But if you free aim it, you can like
lob it.
You can lob it. Yeah. So like what you do is you see someone's going a certain way, you just snipe them by throwing where they're gonna go. And it's so great seeing someone run away from you because they're trying to heal. I'm like, ah! Yeah. It's like, oh my god! It's just everything about this game is just perfect. It's the last minute detail. Oh my god! Like, although I will ask you this: what? I guess we already went over the least favorite area, but what was your favorite area?
Favorite area.
The sewers. That's right. It's the sewers again.
I don't know. The dragon area was really funny when we were like the dragons were all flying around in the sky. We're like, I forget where we were. We were running somewhere, and then all of a sudden, one just like flew out of the background down to us. We're like, holy! Like that was awesome. The whole mimic area. I really like the design and stuff of it.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
The mimics were like cool to fight as well. But what was it? There was the gargoyles and the deer there were the bosses. So like they weren't anything really to write home about. So
did we? Oh no, we didn't fight it. There's like it's part of like the Rye of the Witch quest line, but like there's this like giant void demon. You probably need it for the achievement. I'm not sure, but
yeah,
like,
I still need to do that one because you said it was part of the one ending that we'll get to eventually.
The worst part for me is that I remember getting to biting that boss on console, and it's just like the most like out of like I don't know. I had to have just stumbled upon it like on my own adventure accidentally. It was not something I looked up because I wasn't doing that quest line. There's this we didn't hit on our playthrough, but there's a lake of rot. Were you there in your single player when you played console?
I think
there's like this underground lake, and it's just all scarlet rot. It's all and there's a boss in the rot.
Oh,
and
that was a terrible area too. Oh, I forgot about that. The dragon with the rot too that we fought. That took like a couple tries.
Oh yeah.
That was a terrible area.
Oh my god, it's just like I would honestly love to like play again. With like getting my memory wiped.
I know, like I want to experience it again, and that's why like I'm so hyped now for the DLC. Is just like it'll be new and fresh and like like doing the other endings. I'm sure adds a little more and like maybe takes you to bosses we didn't fight like in the normal playthrough, but at the same time it's still just like all right, it's still the same thing like going through it again. But yeah, it was just like a perfect experience.
I'm trying to think. The only time there are like very few times I felt that kind of joy, and one of them was actually with Tears of the Kingdom because like it finally was the fix to Breath of the Wild. But like beyond that, it's like I can't really think of it like an adventure like that where I'm just like, this is so cool. Like, oh my god,
it's hard. Yeah,
I actually, you know what? Maybe the closest is Skyrim. Like just the genuine feeling of like, oh, what is this? Like, it's like, oh, this quest line, or like, oh, cool boss, just like really making your own character. Like, it just felt like you're in that world,
right?
And like that, it's like, this is me. I'm in this world. I'm fighting all these, these monsters and whatnot. It's just like and it just felt so cool. Like I was. By the way, I was playing a tank build, so like I'm trying to, block everything for Derek.
Right.
Derek's
like in a dex build.
Yeah, doing it like a dex build. He got like this frost axe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. And then we got the mimic tier, so we had like a mini army almost with like 4 people like going into most of these bosses. And there were like it didn't make it easier at all. Like it still was like a challenge for a lot of it. So
because Melina, she melted them.
She like deleted them. The dragon guy, they were like
they're just basically they were just there to
they were cannon fodder
to eat hits like twice to give us time to breathe.
Yeah. So
oh man.
Yeah, I mean score wise it's a 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, 10
the
out of 10.
co-op mode literally makes it like an 11 out of 10.
Yeah,
like it's insane that like it pushes it over the limit of like perfection. But like
seriously,
thanks. We should have looked up the guy's name, but thank you to the creator of that mod for like, and that team, if it was a team, like for making that like experience for anybody. If we remember, maybe we'll put a link in the description just to like shout them out or something.
Right.
But like, if you have a friend that wants to play it and you have it on PC, like it's such a cool. Even if you played the game when the game came out and you just want to play it again, it's a cool experience to do.
Mind you, by the way, with co-op, you can also make it so like they're not like. Well, we had it 'cause we were playing for fun for the first time, so we couldn't hit each other. However, there are settings where you can make your ally neutral, where like you can't target them, but you can. If I swang at the enemy and you were there, you would get hurt.
Right.
And then there's also a last setting where your enemy status.
Right.
For like dueling.
Everybody, everything you do can hurt the other person.
And it's just so cool. That's such a great idea.
Yeah. And then there's other mods for like Elden Ring on the PC. Like you could add, I think it works with all the other mods, the guy said.
I didn't look at other mods.
Yeah, I was reading the README when we first installed it. I think he said it like works with other mods that you can install or whatever. So, but you get your Steam achievements still. Like
what a nice touch.
Yeah, like no other mod game does that.
Normally there's a mod specifically to re-enable achievements, right. But he's like, no, it would just work fine.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
which oh man,
yeah. I mean, Erdtree comes out in, like I said, like 3 weeks from
this recording.
So probably like 2 weeks from when we release this.
Dude, like I'm so conflicted. I want to play it with you immediately, but it's not going to happen because of the co-op. But then it's like, but I have it, so I want to play it. It's
right.
Like, come on, man.
It's gonna be so good. Like, I'm so excited. But like, yeah, it was like the perfect time to play it, just to hype up for the DLC.
Right.
And actually, I think did we start playing it before the DLC got announced?
Oh no, it was after.
Was it after?
It
okay.
It was definitely after. It was just like because it's been announced for like a year. They just gave like a timeline, and then like one of the last two trailers was like it's gonna be that. Yeah,
right.
I think like when we started playing it before that, it was like, oh, it's gonna come out in like spring,
right?
And it's just like, okay, well, might as well play it. Like we got to beat it if we want
to get to the DLC. So
and we also invested like X money for the the collector's edition of the Erdtree, not
because they did another collector's edition.
Those animals, and then I guess it just
and then they keep doing cool merch. They did the mouse pad. I wanted. I didn't pre-order it. I think you sent it to me, but I like missed it, and I went on and I think it was sold out again. So
I picked it up.
Did you get it?
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's a nice like mouse pad.
It's a LED one.
Oh,
it's an XL LED, and
I have the Halo LED one.
And what they did this time, which I really like a lot, is they made basically the left side of it kind of blank, and the entire right side is like the castle or in the Erdtree.
See, that's
so
perfect.
You can put the keyboard on the left. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
exactly. That's exactly and like perfect. It's like, oh, that's so. I'm so excited. I want this game now. Anyway, yeah, this is in my top like 5 games of all time.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really like, especially for an open world game, it's gonna be really hard to top this.
Yeah,
like exceptionally, and that's without the co-op mod, by the way. With the co-op mod,
it's just like it literally just made it even better, and a perfect even better. Like
it's like if there's an Elden Ring 2, I'm like, it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna want to play it absolutely, but like I would kind of just be like, do I just wait until co-op mod?
Right.
Like I just rather experience everything.
It's so nice too, because it's literally just been like, what else can we go back and like mod and be like, I want to play like Dark Souls 1 through 3 co-op or Sekiro co-op or something.
Yeah, this really opened my eyes to like how good co-op mods can be.
Right.
I was expecting a lot more jank, but obviously depends on
who made it or whatever. But like,
they clearly cared.
The community who did it, like they cared and they did it right. And
oh man,
it's awesome. So.
All right, we gotta play.
We're going back to play. We're playing now.
Playing now. And that's really it. Final verdict, I'd say without the mod, 10 out of 10. With the mod, like 11, 12. I'll put 12.
Yeah. It's just, it literally cannot praise it more. It's perfect.
It is perfect. Watch our series on it, like Derek mentioned before.
It will be coming out soon. Yeah, or probably by the time this is released, we'll have it scheduled.
Episodes?
I think it's gonna be long.
Okay.
I think the month of June, so we're recording this on June 1st, just as some background. I think the whole month of June, pretty much episodes are going to be coming out.
Okay.
So we're going to, it's the month of Elden Ring, because then the DLC comes out the 21st.
Right.
So, yeah. It's
Well,
Elden Ring time.
Everyone, thanks for watching and listening in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to us if you're watching this on podcast. Let us know in the comments what you want to watch us play as a seamless co-op run. Or just
right.
co-op
Give
runs,
us recommendations. Some of our like members joined the Discord.
Right.
People in there have been recommending like Subnautica. Hollow Knight has a mod that apparently works really well. I don't know, Shower with Your Dad Simulator. We both have the same dad.
I would love if there was a Tears of Kingdom one, but you need like
right. That's a lot of work to get the Switch to do that, but it'd be so cool. Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you guys would like to see. If you guys know what mods work and are good, and which ones aren't. So that's pretty much it.
All right, see you guys next time. Wait, say something.
Bye bye. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Bye bye.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa,
Okay.
bye bye.
All right, bye guys.